everybody, welcome to Kimberly's Sandbox, and thanks for coming back. If you've already been with me before, I just wanted to thank you all for joining in with me on my channel and subscribing too. I've seen a surge in subscribers and I really appreciate that. Thanks so much. I had put up a video several weeks ago and it was about my home purchase here in Hua Hin. Actually, obviously, I'm not at my home right now. I'm in Kuala Lumpur, actually about an hour outside of Kuala Lumpur in a fantastic place called Genting Highlands, and I'll be sharing some video footage with you shortly on that. But anyway, getting back to the video that I put up a few weeks ago about my home purchase, I had so many comments and I really appreciated a lot of the feedback that I received. Some constructive, maybe some not so constructive, but it's okay. But it made me realize that there's lots of needs. Everybody has lots of questions, and I figured maybe I could try and do a video on some of the main things that I was frequently asked about in the comments. So, as you know, I am no expert in home purchase, okay? My last video was about my personal experience, my husband's and mine, with our home purchase in Hua Hin, or outside of Hua Hin. We're actually over the line in Prambury, okay? But we've had a very positive experience, and we've had a positive experience with our builder. But I wanted to share some additional information with you because several of you were asking me about the lawyer that we used to purchase the property. And again, I just want to give that information to you. His name is Piti Suebwonglee, and I hope I did not murder that name too much. But you can find him at EXpat Pro, and that is located on Pekasem Road in Hua Hin, coming like towards the center before you get to Market Village. He's on the left-hand side in a really nice office space there. Speaks fluent English, very professional, and has always been very responsive to via email. So I'll include that information in the description. Everything I talk about today, I'm going to put it contact information for that person, for that company, phone number, email if I have it, will all be in the description for you, okay? So I know that several of you have already contacted Piti, and he has so appreciated the business. And so I wanted to go ahead and thank you all for doing that from him personally. So yeah, so he's a great guy. He is my go-to for lawyer type things I need. He is actually drawing up our will and to make sure that all our bases are covered regarding the property that we have in Hua Hin, or in Prambury. Okay, the next issue, I had some questions about home insurance. So up in the center of Hua Hin, there is an AA insurance broker's office. It's located, like, I think on the 3rd floor of a main building on Pekasem Road. And I'm gonna go ahead and again share the information, contact information, and the email address with you. They do home insurance, car insurance. They'll get you your car insurance, your car sticker. They do medical insurance. Guys, they offer everything. They have English speakers there. That would be where I would go for any insurance needs. However, on a little side note, I have a very excellent medical insurance person. His name is Robert Jackson. I have been using him, guys, since I moved to Thailand a couple years ago, and he is my go-to, you guys. English speaking, I'm friends with him on Facebook. If ever I have a medical issue, any medical insurance question, or whatever, he's my guy. Now, I am going to put his information below. He is with AXA Insurance, and his wife, Nattawadee Jackson, works for AIA Insurance. They work together, okay? And she speaks very good English. So I would get in touch with them regarding medical insurance. They can tell you all about different plans that the insurance company offers, the rates, things of that nature. I can't go there because that is not my area. So really, you need to go to the people that know these areas, right, to get the information you need, okay? I'm just gonna steer you in a direction of where to start. So Robert Jackson would be my personal preference, but you can go again to AA Insurance Brokers uptown in Hua Hin on Pet Kasem Road, and they have all insurance options there, including medical insurance too, and they can talk to you about it there, okay? The next thing some of you all asked me about was visas. Oh my gosh, you guys. The visas, there's so many different visas, and some of them are age specific, some are based on, you know, are you here on education? Are you here to volunteer? Are you here to, you know, work? There's different criteria for every visa. Are you here to retire? There's different retirement visas. So what I would suggest you do is get in touch with, if you come here on a tourist visa, come in on a tourist visa, and if you plan on staying here, go see Anna Visa Services. They're on Soy 94 in Hua Hin, and English speaking. Again, I'll include the information in the description, and they are highly recommended for their visa services, okay? They will help guide you in that process. So rather than mess around with going to like the Hua Hin expats, looking for information, Googling information that could be out of date, and also I'm going to tell you too, from one immigration place to another, like from Koh Samui to the immigration in Hua Hin, there were some subtle changes just enjoying my renewal of my retirement visa. So really what you should do, get with an agent, and they can talk to you about your options, and then they can help you with it, okay? There are some banks in Thailand that will allow you to open up a bank account, and that's one of the things you're gonna have to do, and so that you can put your funds in there. And some of them will let you do it on a tourist visa, and some will not. And for me, time is important to me. I wouldn't want to be running all over from this bank to this bank to this bank, waiting in queues and stuff, and meeting with people and having them turn me down or telling me that I needed this document or that document. It's a pain. Don't do it your first time. You know what? You might pay 30,000 baht, but I think it's well worth it to go and pay a visa agent to handle everything, to do the visa for you, to set up your bank account, which is what I did. I had that visa agent do that for me, and it just saved me such a headache and so much anxiety and everything else. Do that. Make it easier for yourself. Now, if you can't do that, if you don't have 30,000 baht to pay them or some extra funds to do that, you may be questioning if you should be in Thailand to retire, okay? So that's another thing I want to talk to you about. When Dave and I thought about coming to Thailand to retire, this wasn't just a whimsical decision. This was a decision we made, like we talked about this in length and came up with a plan in 2015. It took us until 2021 to actually make it happen, okay? Don't just make the decision and go and not have a plan in place and not have some type of budget in mind and have your finances in order and also have yourself in order. Because if you have problems in the States or wherever you live, they're just gonna follow you to wherever you go. So yeah, this is just keeping it real, guys. Real legit advice on how to go about getting your visa and really preparing to come to Thailand. And there's another thing to say about coming to Thailand. Don't just come to Thailand and spend a week or two here and then make up your mind that you're going to come and retire here. I would highly suggest you come and maybe make a couple trips here and decide if it's for you, because it's not going to be for everybody, okay? And I say that with a lot of love because I love Thailand, but there's stuff here that may drive some people crazy. I mean, there can be some trash on the side of the road occasionally. That might bother you. There are stray dogs here, stray cats here. The electrical infrastructure is questionable, and some of the wiring outside of hotels and along the main roads and everything is pretty crazy. The sidewalks are not in good shape. It's not necessarily handicap friendly. I will say that as well. But I will say it's incredibly safe. I have never felt safer. I actually feel safer in Thailand than I did in my own country, and whenever I travel in my own country. I can travel all over Thailand and I still feel really safe. I go to Bangkok on my own and I actually feel really safe as a woman traveling to Bangkok. Okay? So make a few trips, experience it, and see what you think of it. Do you have the ability to overlook some things that some people may not be able to overlook? Can you see the beauty beyond some of the despair and some of the sad stuff that you may see in Thailand? Some people really, really don't like it, and I am not one of those people. When I see things like that, it makes me that much more appreciative of my life and what I have and my ability to do the things that I can do in my life. And it also makes me realize the impact that I can have living in Thailand as an expat and helping local businesses, eating at local restaurants, purchasing things from small little shops along the sides of the roads. Okay? This can change their lives. It is significant. Okay? Our presence in Thailand is important. Okay? So that's my advice on that. The next thing I want to talk to you about a little bit is hospitals. Not all hospitals are the same. Okay, there's some public hospitals, and then there's some higher end hospitals, like I would say Bangkok Hospital would be considered, Bumrungrad Hospital would be considered higher end hospitals. They come with higher price tags. Okay, there's a reason for that. There are more English speaking people. They are extremely well kept. They are probably more what you would visualize as a westernized type hospital in Thailand. Okay, I want to tell you, just being very upfront, as a medical professional with a lot of background, I have gone to public hospitals, and there is a difference in the level of care. Absolutely. Do I feel comfortable going to a public hospital? I do. I actually feel that I'm getting decent care. However, with my medical background, I also already know what's going to come. And that can be of service to me because I know how to advocate for myself, and I have certain expectations of the type of care I would expect to receive for, say, maybe post-operative care, for things of that nature. You know, I would say that if somebody doesn't have a medical background, you go into a primarily Thai-speaking hospital, it's gonna be a challenge for you, okay? And it's gonna be probably a little bit scary for you. So this is when you might find it helpful to have somebody go along with you that speaks both Thai and English, a translator, or go in and find somebody they have on staff that speaks good English to assist you. Some of the information areas within the hospitals, when you walk into the lobbies, you can check in there and they will have some ability to speak English, okay? But yeah, just keep that in mind. And it can be a bit of a challenge. And that's going to bring another point to you as well. If you don't have any tech savviness at all, you are going to be so challenged, by all means challenged, being in Thailand. And I'm going to tell you, your phone is your lifeline. I use my phone, I use Google Translate all the time to get certain things across to people, to help me with language barrier. You can kind of skirt by in Hua Hin because there's a lot of expats there, and there's quite a few English-speaking Thai, okay? But there are times where you really need translation. That translation app saves me over and over and over again. And also technology is what keeps me connected to my family and friends at home. I use Facebook, I use Instagram, and that is another thing that you might find challenging, being so far away. I mean, it can take me from anywhere from 24 to 30 hours to get back to the States, to my hometown. And it's not a hop, skip, and a jump. So if things happen in the States, it's going to take you time to get back there. And having that technology link is really important to be connected to people. Now, if you are the type of person that is so embedded in your community, in your family, you struggle being independent, you may need a lot of people around you to keep you entertained. If you're not self-sufficient, if you are not willing to try new things, if you're rigid in your ways, you're going to have a hard time in Thailand. I'll tell you that. When I first came to Thailand, I was pretty anxious and pretty rigid. And thankfully, I have a very patient spouse that helps me with my anxieties and things that I struggle with, that I've struggled with my whole life. And I've come so far, and I owe that greatly to him, actually. So you need to be able to understand that that is something you're going to have to do, is overcome the hurdles, the challenges, maybe even some learning curves that you have not visited before. Your phone is going to be crucial to accessing Google Maps, to finding things in the area. Your phone is going to be crucial to using certain applications like Grab to get a ride when you don't have a car, to get food delivered if you're sick. Gosh, I could go on and on. You can even order medications through pharmacy and they will deliver that stuff through Grab and through different apps. There's Panda, there's Line Man, okay? There's all these different apps. So if you don't have the tech savvy, you better start working on it now before you come to Thailand. Get versed in using video, making video call through maybe Facebook Messenger so you can call family and see their faces. It's going to keep your spirits up and help you transition and keep connected. Or, learn how to use video on your phone, just with regular phone calls. So do that and do it soon. Start working on that. Speaking of phones, what I did was when I came to Thailand, I bought a Thai phone. The Thai phone cost about $100 US. It was a decent phone. I'll show you. This is what it looks like. Okay, Samsung, okay, and works just like my US phone. It's fantastic. And the apps, I mean, everything's all set up for me, and I download everything just like I usually do on my US phone, right? It works the same. And then, of course, I signed up for service. My service is through Dyett, and it runs me about 500 to 700 baht per month, which is what, $15 to $18 or so, somewhere in there. And I put on my mobile, of course, internet, right? And then I hook up my US phone to that internet, and then I turn on something called Wi-Fi calling on my US phone. Now, what this enables me to do is to use my US phone whenever I have internet connection. And this holds true if you hook up your US phone to any internet within Thailand, anywhere. You could be at a cafe or whatever. You turn on Wi-Fi calling after you hook up to their internet, and you can use your US phone. And people can call you from the US. So you don't have to use roaming and pay $10 per day if you have some tech savvy and learn how to use Wi-Fi calling. So a little tip for you there. Okay, so I hope this video was helpful to you, gave you some resources and places to start when you come to Thailand. As always, reach out to me if you have questions. I'd be glad to assist you in any way that I can. You know, again, I'm not all-knowing. I can only give you recommendations and what I've felt have worked for me, and give you solid advice that I've seen others kind of struggle with in some of the areas of living in Thailand with the challenges of the, you know, the language barrier and being so far from family and friends. Okay, but with that being said too, your friends become your family here. I have lived apart from my family for quite a long time. Most of my family is back east. I maybe see them once or twice a year. My boys are grown and they're living their own lives, and that's the way it should be, right? They're on their own. They're supporting themselves. They have, you know, responsibilities, and I don't want to limit them in living their own lives. And they don't want to limit me in living mine with my husband either, as we've gotten older and have always wanted to travel. We respect each other, and I make it back, you better believe it, to see them whenever I possibly can. And now I have a new granddaughter to think about and stay connected to. We do a lot of video calls, and it really helps with that. No, it's not the same, but it's working for now, and I foresee some visits from them in the future. Oh gosh, speaking of visits, don't come to Thailand expecting people will visit you, because guess what? It's not likely, okay? I'm just being straight up with you. People talk, and they talk a lot of talk, okay? And only a select few people that really, I don't know. I can't even tell you. It's a certain personality you have to be able to come over to Thailand. Open-mindedness, the ability to tolerate long travel, the understanding that this is going to be an experience, one you'll never forget. So we have a friend named Darren that recently came to Thailand, and he actually has met a Thai woman, and they're engaged. So we have spent some time with him recently, and he's Dave's old high school friend. And it's interesting because if Dave and I hadn't come to Thailand, it's very likely that Darren would never have met Yang. And we kind of sparked that fire for him to start looking elsewhere, as he wasn't having great success in the US dating people there. So yeah, don't hold your breath for visitors, which is probably one of the things that steered us to only buying a 2-bedroom villa, because realizing that it's not very likely we're very often going to have visitors. Okay, so yeah, so that's it, guys. Take care of yourselves. I hope to see you again soon. And yeah, thanks for subscribing. Bye-bye.